Hi, everybody. So, I have not been on here to talk lately. Just life is busy and hectic. But I wanted to get back to a place where um, I had some calmness in my spirit when I write and when I do these videos. It takes away everything that may hold in my head. And I know a lot of other people probably going through the same thing. But we just need to come back to ourselves, back to things that calm our spirit and where we can grow and put us on a path where we're living what we are supposed to be here for. And I made a few videos, probably, a little more than a few, about panic and anxiety. And when I first started, sometime last year, my panic and anxiety was through the roof. And I still have these attacks. But now I come to a point where I don't get so overwhelmed with them. And I'm able to, like, I don't know, I want to say capture, but I'm able to pinpoint where exactly it's coming from. And now I can calm myself in those moments when I have them, because I know that it's going to be temporary most of the time, even though I might have repeated episodes throughout the day of these panic and anxiety. But at least now I can capture it in its moment and know what to do at that point. Some days are better than others. Today was a good day. Yesterday, I had some slight panic and anxiety, and I know when I don't eat according to how I feel, if I go too long without eating, it's a trigger for me. And I think that's what we need to figure out. What is the trigger? And how do we go about that? I tie my panic and anxiety now into spiritual and physical, and not much so mental. Not saying that it's not a mental, it is mental, but for me, now I'm able to figure out what's going on within myself. And panic and anxiety mainly is because we're panicking about something. We're overwhelmed, we're worried, we're constantly like, oh, is this going to happen? Oh, let me do this. And anxiety is being so anxious that we same thing with panic, but we can't sit still. We're like, I gotta do this and that. And life can become overwhelming, and if even like it attacks our thoughts, most of the time, the panic and anxiety, if we allow it, it can take control of our minds. And I've been there, and I still go through it sometimes, where our mind creates these thoughts that, maybe we're not good enough, or maybe a situation happened because we're just, the situation will be worse than what it is, and it's not really that. So we create sometimes in our minds bad situations, and it overwhelms us, and so we think that is our reality, but it's in our mind. So when we can grasp hold of our mind, we can overcome most of the panic and anxiety symptoms, and it does take a process. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I found a solution. I said I'm just here to tell my story of what I know has been working for me. I know that when I'm eating right and I'm exercising, getting sleep that I need, and doing my meditation and doing what, my passion is, I started writing again, and it kind of alleviated some of everything that I was holding in my head, and even talking to somebody about it. If you don't have any friends available close by or people that you don't think understand, they have groups where you don't have to be judged about, what we are going through, because some people think that we make things up with the panic and anxiety, that it's not really there, but we know, and we know that we have them and they feel real. And if people really understand that mental issue is real, or we need to bring more awareness to it, they'll be able to better understand us. But it's up to us to figure it out where we are and get the necessary help that we need. And sometimes, we can't do it by ourselves. I went to therapy for almost a year, and she gave me the tools that I needed so that I can deal with it, by myself. And I still reach out to people. I'll let people know, like, okay, I need to eat, or I need to, even being around too many people sometimes will have me in a panic and anxiety mode. So I know I need to regroup myself and tell myself the situation is okay. And like I said, it's a journey, it's a constant discovery of who we are at different levels. And when I tie my panic and anxiety to spirituality, it's like I'm not doing what I am supposed to be doing. Like, sometimes we get stuck in our life, and that can create panic and anxiety. Like, we feel stuck because we're not moving towards what we want. We're not living, we're just existing. We're just doing the typical routine 9 to 5, day in and day out. And that can drive people crazy. It can drive you crazy. You get bored, and you know that you're not living up to your full potential. And that's why I said I had to take it back to what I loved and enjoyed, and I started writing again, and it eliminated some of the chaos that was going on in my head. And now I'm able to channel that energy to something else. And you have to find what works for you. It's going to be a trial and error thing, but I can guarantee you it can get better. It doesn't seem like it. Life is overwhelming. Life is not, not saying life is bad. It's overwhelming, especially if you have a lot on your plate. But it can be handled so that you can enjoy it, because life is meant to be enjoyed, and we shouldn't be afraid of enjoying life. But we should embrace it, and we should learn. We should continuously learn about ourselves so that we can understand ourselves better, and then we can learn to love ourselves so that we can be the best people that we need to be out here in the world. So if you're feeling like you're panic and anxious all the time, pay attention to your surroundings, people, places, things, what you consume. I'm not saying being a vegetarian decreases the chance, but when I stopped eating meat and started going towards vegetarian and veganism, I actually feel better. It might not work for everybody, but it works for me. So play around with it. Figure out what works for you, and that's what this journey is all about. Trying to figure out what works for you, so that you can have the best quality of life possible. Because you want to enjoy life, you want to live, you want to go out here and be in the world and not be afraid. And then I think part of panic and anxiety, we're afraid to be who we are because we're afraid that people won't accept us as we are. And when you learn how to love yourself and appreciate yourself and know that you have a purpose here, what others say about you won't even matter, because most of the time people are looking at you and talking about you and judging you because they see something in you that they desire, and they also see a reflection of themselves, and they don't want to be faced with themselves. And on this journey, I learned that we attract what we are and not necessarily what we need, and sometimes that we have to, even going through the spiritual journey with the panic anxiety, you are going to be faced with yourself. And if you don't deal with like I said, the spiritual aspect of it, if you don't deal with your stuff, it's going to come up. And that can create panic and anxiety. So it's a whole list of things that can be a trigger. So you just have to do the work and find out what works for you, what's not working for you, and then just start doing the whole process, and to get better, to heal, so that you can be the best person that you can be in the world. I don't want to be before you too long, and I will be on here in a few days. I'll try to do this twice a week. I just wanted to touch base and let people know that there is happiness in panic and anxiety attacks. It might not seem like it. Life might seem overwhelming, but once you figure out and accept who you are, accept that you're not perfect and that you can change and we need to change in order to elevate to the next level, in order to grow, in order to blossom, because every level requires a different version of yourself, and if you keep doing the same things and being around the same, it's not going to change. So how can you expect to receive better if you don't want to do better? And it's not an easy process. It's going to be a step by step, but I can guarantee you, when you start the whole cycle of change and letting go, you'll find out that it's peace. Even with all the chaos going on, it'll be peace within your spirit and within your soul, and you'll be able to find a place of comfort, and then you'll be able to reach the full potential and the reason why you were put here on this earth. I want y'all to have a good night, and knowing that it's people out there that's going through the same things that we are. Just don't be afraid to reach out to people, even if it is in groups and private. Just let somebody know that you're going through. You need someone to talk to, and you just got to get some stuff off your chest. You can always message me, email me, and we can chat, and I just could tell you my journey, because I only can tell you from my point of view. And that's where we are in life. It's our journey and our destination, and we have to get through it, figure out what works for us, because everything doesn't work for everybody. So I hope you have a great night, a great few days ahead, and remember, tomorrow's a new day. Start fresh. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about the future. Worry about this moment and live in the moment and appreciate everything that this moment has to give, even if it's something small as, enjoying the fresh air. So have a good night, everyone, and let's figure out a way to live in this world and not just exist.